Today's a big day because I'm going to go ahead and wrap up a big chunk of this west side retaining wall for our entrance. It is in good shape to get it completed at this point. I'm standing next to the tubes, of course, for the fence post, and I'm going to go ahead and run those out today. I've got 3 going up the north side of the driveway that I haven't completed. I've completed many of them. I filmed doing that on the east, so I didn't really bring it into the west videos that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these out and the ones going up the driveway and get that done. I got to run a measurement here to kind of figure out the spacing. And, you know, obviously you generally try to work towards 6 feet gaps, but because it turns, you might get a little bit smaller than that, as I showed in the prior video on the east side. So after I get done with that, it'll be a lot of backfilling rock, a lot of making sure it's compacted, getting the dirt in here. I do have a full load of dirt off to my left, a big load of rock. I think I'm set up for success. I don't have all my dirt and all my rock to complete the project, but I will be very close. And then I'll go ahead and close out the day, hopefully, with putting out the standalones. Won't glue them down, but at least dry fit them in. And then finish also, I have some, not a lot, but some of the primary bricks that have got to be put in going up the hillside here. So a lot of kind of variable things going on, not one topic in particular, I guess, other than saying, closing it out. If I'm able to get those standalones down and get them in place by the end of the day, I think I've done everything I wanted to do. Tomorrow I'll pick up gluing them down and then start the process of putting caps in. And so that this is basically hopefully completed, and the caps that I haven't glued down on the east side on the turn, get those glued down, because the following week I'm going to go ahead and have Ron come back in. We're going to put the riprap in front, clean up the creek area, get that rock pile, the dirt pile that's behind me here, put to its right place, get everything laid out, and basically complete the set. We have some work that we're going to have to do as far as irrigation lines, some cuts for the future of the pavers coming down from the driveway above. And then we're going to work on our fence posts. It's going to be exciting. It's going to get to that next level. So yeah, several things kind of going back and forth, and just trying to wrap things up and get this interest completed, because it is mid-August, and so I've got probably about 6 weeks to get to my goal, which does include all the pavers, the fence post, everything to be completed. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't have 3 other projects lined up before we get into snow in the winter. So with that, let's get going. That run counted out at 48 feet, so it'd be a perfect 8-tube situation. So that's really exciting. So I have all my tubes. I might be even, you know, half of a tube extra, not a big deal. So yeah, I'll be able to lay that in today, and looking forward to it. It looks good. Let's get to putting some in up the driveway. Okay, with the corner completed, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the backfill of this section. start backfilling all the way down. I think we're in a good place. I think I'm going to go ahead and only backfill one brick down because I got to put our geogrid in at this level right in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and be mindful of the geogrid all the way down to get this all in. Yeah, I think that corner worked out great. It looks really, really good against the opposite side. We're lined up for success all the way down. So yeah, let's get to backfilling. Okay, with the rock filled in behind it, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the primary bricks, get them laid in here. Unfortunately, I got about like 3 layers of standalones on top of those, so I got to throw those up first over around the turn, just get them out of the way. Then I'm going to come back and do these primary bricks and lay it all out and get her done. Yeah, it's really getting hot, so I've got the hat on, and yeah, it's time to. I think this is going to be the last real hot weekend of the summer. Hey, but show must go on. Okay, with all the primary bricks in, it's time to go ahead and build the curb. If you recall from the east side, I'm going to put a curb here and then come up on the other side, put another curb, and put a French drain in the middle. So it's time to bring over some more rock and get that all built up, and then we'll flap this fabric back, fill in behind that as well. And then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop here on this side, and then I'm going to go back to the tubes around the turn, get those things completed, get this side kind of set up for success for tomorrow morning to run the pipe down, the French drain pipe down, cover it up, and be done with this side for now. I didn't get to my planned activity yesterday because I could tell that I was running out of rock. I intended to buy 2 loads and then changed my mind to 1, and here we go. So I was a little bit short, probably about 3/4 of a load short, but I'll go ahead and purchase a full load when I get one this week and make sure that I have adequate supply. There's always places to put rock in the property, and in fact, I have, like I said, I have 3 more projects lined up for before the winter hits. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to the standalone bricks, getting them all lined in, and setting myself up for success there. Probably will glue them down today. Put in my French drain with the rock that I do have left. May not even have enough for that part of the project, but just enough to keep the plastic down and keep the French drain itself in place. Will be fine. So that's the activity for today. There's basically just touch-ups left of this whole thing, other than cutting the bricks for this turn for the caps. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get to it, start throwing some standalones down, breaking up my end caps, need 10 of those. There's plenty to get done with that. So let's get going. Standalone bricks in right now, and it just looks beautiful. I always stop and take a pause and look at it from this when it's like this. It's really kind of neat to see it come to be done. I realize the caps are going to go on the top here and make it even crisper, but it's like kind of pause after you get all the primary bricks in, the standalone bricks, and it looks really much like its final product other than the caps. So I'm working on the French drain piece. Again, I don't have enough rocks, so I'm just going to hold it into place, finish off the connection pieces, and call it good on that part. And then come back and go ahead and start gluing these things up. I may only glue down about, a couple, 2, 3 sections of this, because, I'm going to probably call it for the day. But yeah, hey, it looks really, really good. If you can see behind me, I mean, it just really has come together. And yeah, it's really neat to see it finally come to fruition. Obviously, I've got work to move. I've got dirt to move around. I have caps to put on. A lot of gluing to do. We're not done here by no means. I have one more full weekend before I have Ron come back and start doing some of the final work with the riprap and all that. So basically, got to keep my wheels turning. But I'm probably in a decent place. I do have to get supplies. That'll take me down just a bit in time going into town and picking up some supplies for the fence. But other than that, everything's good. Okay, so this is the drain that's going to pop through and go down to the creek from the French drain. I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down by about 1 inch, because as we put the pavers across here, they got to land above the pipe. So I'm going to shrink this down 1 inch and also cut the elbow to make sure that it fits underneath the run here. So yeah, here we go. Oh, that's not good. and call it a night now. I've already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, which was from the start of this particular course all the way back is completed. So I will come back out tomorrow and finish the stair step going up and be completely set up for success this weekend to do the caps. Looking really forward to that. It's just, again, it's the classic cap it off and feel good about the retaining wall portion of this entrance being completed. So it is exciting to see the steps coming together. I have to be honest, I'm about ready for it to end, but I have obviously quite a few things to go further, but each step of the way is getting better and better. So again, on to tomorrow. Today is an absolutely perfect day to work. We had a nice summer rain, well overdue, and it put a bit of coolness into the air. It's amazing what 3 weeks ago, I was sitting in 100-degree weather and it was difficult to get things accomplished. But today we should be able to get quite a bit going with standalone bricks, gluing them down, putting the caps on. We got to move quick. This is the weekend before finalizing this project from the retaining wall perspective, where we put the riprap up front and close this thing out to where it's going to permanently stay, which is the first step before taking the next step of the fence itself and start putting in the post and putting that together. So with that, I'm going to jump right into these standalone bricks, getting them glued down. I have already completed the front part there, as you saw in the video. I've already gotten myself around the turn. So it's only here going from this point up the driveway. Should take no real time to do so. And then we'll jump into the caps. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the caps. I'll place them around the turn. I'll go down that area where I had already glued it up. Get that all kind of put them in place. I won't obviously be locking them into a dry fit because they need to be cut. So, you know, I'll go ahead and start putting those into place. And yeah, next step. So here we go. Okay, so we're ready to get going here, start gluing these guys down. When I get to the turn, I'll bring down the saw so that I can start working my turn. And yeah, here we go. It's you know, I'll let these standalones that were I put in earlier dry up, and so that I can do that tomorrow. That's enough for tomorrow, and then I'll get these hopefully all done today. That's the plan. So I've got the straightaway built out here, and it's done, it's in place, it's looking good. I did have a little bit of a mistake that I've got to overcome now, which I guess I cut that thing a little too fat. So now it's left me with a problem down there that I'm going to have to adjust, which means I cut 2 bricks and make it happen. It's not terrible, but not what I like happening. So I obviously I just mismeasured, and so as a result I've got a problem down there. So it's only about 4 inches off, and that 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches could have come out of this brick, and it would have disappeared it out, and it would have caused that to be fine. But now with it all laid out, it's done. Rocket, it's time to do the riprap. Right here. So like I said before, we get the water to break the bank here every single year. And you don't want it tearing up the bottom of the retaining wall. As I'm showing here to the videos to my left, the water just really kind of floods this area usually about twice a year. So when that elevates up, you're going to want this riprap to hold the dirt in front of the retaining wall so it doesn't collapse. With the riprap in, the retaining wall is complete. I'm so excited to have this part of the entrance completed up. As I shared out, there's a lot of learnings that I communicated, that I gathered from the internet overall, and I think it really played out nice. Even to the last second here with the riprap, understanding how the water forces of the creek that are going to hit against this retaining wall possibly, we just got to be prepared for that. But it looks terrific behind me. I will get this droned in here on the close and to show you how it's all come together. It's really kind of exciting. Onto the fence and onto the completion of this. The fence will take several weeks to do with the pavers that are going to be underneath it. And then there's of course irrigation and vegetation. So with that, I'm going to close out this video, but look forward to the fence and the closeout of the entrance area. I'm really excited to share that out with you.